Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So welcome back to the Walker Air Transport NASCAR 2022 series. This is leg 15, so we're flying the 2022 schedule. Story here is we're just moving a bunch of VIPs around the country, and they've contracted our company to fly various groups around from race to race for the entire 2022 NASCAR season. We just finished the All-Star race in Texas, and we are now heading to Charlotte. And this would be for the race Sunday, May 29th, 2022. This same weekend in 2024, the NASCAR series will also be in Charlotte. So no real deviation there, it's just where it's coming from, where in 2024 they'll be coming from North Wilkesboro. So the big news for this leg is, at least right now, I'm going to say strap in. The plan is this'll be a long one. So if you recall, before BeyondATC was coming out, if you've been watching any of the flight sim videos on my channel, I have been kind of waiting for that to finish up and round out what I think would be as immersive a flight experience without kind of going over the top. Because I suppose someone can argue with me that there's other things I could use, there's other add-ons I can use, but once again, not sure that doing a million things is going to make a lot of sense. So we are going to be using FSLTL for traffic injection so that we have things around. We are going to be using BeyondATC for air traffic control. Obviously I'm using all the supporting things like Navigraph and all those other things to help me navigate, but you're not really going to hear that or necessarily see that. It's just part of what aids me in getting the flight complete. But the big piece that's going to be introduced here now is something called self-loading cargo, which basically is an add-on that is a standalone. It doesn't interface into Microsoft Flight Simulator. It runs on its own, but it connects up, so it transmits data. But what I mean is it's not like adding a plane like the 737 that I'm going to be flying here for this leg, that you buy and then it loads and it's part of Microsoft Flight Simulator. It runs on the side, a little bit like BeyondATC, but it basically will fill in that gap where we are going to need to interact with the crew, and we're also going to be scored on how well the flight goes and so forth. So this may take a bit of time to obviously do right, because we're going to have to wait till we're allowed to leave and so forth. I'm going to try to move a little bit quickly, but I don't want to rush. The flight itself is a duration of 2 hours, and again, there's going to be cabin crew interactions and so forth. So my intent is, for the most part, this thing's going to run. I may have to cut things out because, you know, I'm coughing, I'm doing whatever. We'll see how it goes, but that is the intent. So that's why this video is the length it is. But if you want to experience a flight start to finish with pretty much everything you could be doing as a captain, you know, modeled to the best of the ability that we have available to us in Microsoft Flight Simulator as far as voice interactions and so forth, this will be the leg. We'll see how this goes. Certainly give me feedback at the end of, did you enjoy it? Or was it like, yeah, it's alright. So let me know. But right now, we finished the last leg here at Gate 15 at Fort Worth Alliance Airport, otherwise known as Perot, after I assume Ross Perot. So given that this is a ramp GA large, we shouldn't have a problem. I'm going to go ahead and start us off there, and we're going to get going. So we're going to load in and then start moving along. Alright, so this is not meant as a tutorial on any of the products. You know, I might have videos on the channel about them. If people have questions, obviously you're free to ask and so forth. Again, with FSLTL, you can see we've got some general aviation aircraft loaded here. Let's see what else we've got around. Yeah, we've got a few other neighbors. Looks like a lot of Amazon Prime and FedEx here. But good news is we've got, you know, good activity at the airport here. So self-loading cargo, what you're seeing is the interface. So you basically pick if you're going to be interactive, which is what we're doing. They also have a feature that lets you, where it basically does it on the back end, and you just get to experience the chatter, which makes it a little more immersive, but, you know, not the same kind of thing. So we're in a Boeing 737-700. We've got a layout here, you know, of 8 business, 12 premium, 108 economy seats. We're flying in the US, so I'm using the American voice pack. And the cool thing is, for Walker Air Transport, there is a sound pack that Walker Air Transport has done. So some of the announcements, assuming you can hear them, are going to be, hey, welcome to this Walker Air Transport flight, things like that that the passengers are going to hear. We've got those basics set up, and then we set up the flight plan, which it gets from SimBrief. So we've got a full load today, and you can see boarding expected in 59 minutes. So this is where we try to modify some things. So let's see, 34 minutes, that might be a bit. I don't want to rush things because we're going to have to. So let's see. Boarding time. All right. That's probably realistic. So we're going to have a cruise altitude of 37,000. And we should be all set. So we're going to go to in-flight services. All right, so this is where we have a bit of a challenge sometimes. So what you end up doing is you set drinks, food, alcohol. Actually, this is a short haul, so let me, yeah. So, you know, we're just going to have a drink service, some food. You know what, I think the movie is going to be a no-go, because otherwise what we run into, could do a drink service, I suppose, on our flight. No point in doing duty-free, but the movies tend to be about 3 hours long. So the challenge will be, if a service doesn't finish in time, we get dinged for it. You know, we've got Wi-Fi on board. Sometimes passengers can get upset about that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start our flight. Alright, so we are all set. And we're going to start moving along here because, again, now we're on time. Alright.
Hello?
Hi, Captain. How are you?
Hi there. We're fine, thanks.
Great. We're just getting ready for departure, but if you need anything, just give me a call.
Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Alright, so we want to make sure that we have seat belts on. In the meantime, let me get my APU going here, because otherwise we're going to have a problem. So we're going to be cruising at 37,000 feet. That's probably going to be enough for now. Make sure.
Hello?
Hi, Captain. Okay, so I've spoken to security, and they've started checking in, but there's around another 10 minutes to go before we expect to be seeing any passengers.
Thanks.
No problem.
Alright, I am not seeing things that I'd expect to see here. So hold on a second. Alright, so we're gonna request data from SimBrief. I'm gonna go in here, we're gonna do our position, route, request our flight plan. It's the flight plan we need. Alright, and in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead, we're also obviously using GSX here. So we're gonna request refueling. We'll go with American, and then we'll have that done. Need 16,607 block fuel. So we should have the plan coming in soon. So the thing I'm trying to figure out is where is my... Okay, the flight door is inoperable here. So we're okay there. Alright, let me go up to my panel, because I assume we're good here. We are. So we've got the yaw damper on. We're now going to get our fuel set. Get all these turned on. Get this set to 37,000 so that the pressure and all that will work as it should in the cabin appropriately. Alright, we want the seat belts on auto, because self-loading cargo will go ahead and do a lot of that interaction for us. So we'll see how that all runs. Alright, so we've got aircraft loading beginning in about 9 minutes. So in the meantime, let's get the flight plan done here. So I'm going to try to be able to talk on SLC. I know I can do it. I haven't used it in a while, so I do apologize. I'm kind of forgetting how to go ahead and do that. But I'm going to try to get that figured out in the interim here. Alright, I should have this worked out now. We'll find out in a bit here if and when things start to work out for us. So we're going to get this set to ready to take off. Alright, not quite sure. Alright, it seems like I'm getting weird interactions with it. We'll see what happens. I may need to do a, yeah, I don't know why it continues to ding. So I may need to turn that off, but we'll see. Alright, there we go. So now I want to clear that. I want to go to performance initialization. Alright. So let me see if I do a push to talk. Maybe that will do things appropriately. Alright, we want that. We want the index. Now let's see. We want departure, arrival. So we're departing, and we are leaving on 34 left, QSO 1 with the fork transition. And then we are arriving at the ILS 20, the BZM transition, and the Jules star. So that should give us a solid plan. So let's see.
Ground to cockpit.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hi, Captain. Microphone check, please.
Loud and clear.
Okay, Captain. Radio check, please. We'll contact you once the ground vehicles arrive, and we're ready to start loading.
Roger. Alright, so the other thing I'm looking at here is, we requested a fuel truck, but I'm not sure that it is coming. There we go, refueling service requested.
Ground to cockpit.
Go ahead.
Hi there. Just to let you know that we started fueling the aircraft. We'll let you know as soon as it's completed.
Roger. Alright, in the meantime, I'm also going to go ahead and we're going to get ourselves on clearance with BeyondATC.
Go ahead.
Disregard.
Roger.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened there.
Ground to cockpit.
Go ahead.
Hi, Captain. Fueling system completed.
Roger.
Ground to cockpit.
Go ahead.
Hi there. Just to let you know that we started fueling the aircraft. We'll let you know as soon as it's completed.
Alright, a little messed up here. Roger. Roger. Because you saw the fueling came up. It was insufficient fuel. I was going to check that. Alliance clearance. Request IFR to Paget, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, Alliance clearance. Cleared to Concord Regional Airport. Kfw-Kjqf departure. Fork transition. Then as filed. Maintain 5000. Departure frequency 118.1. Squawk 0230.
Cleared to Concord Regional, Kfw-Kjqf 01 departure, Fork, transition then as filed, maintain 5000.
Hi.
Departure frequency 11.8, squawk 0230, Walker
problem.
4021. Go ahead.
Negative. Departure frequency 118.1.
Hi, Captain. Just to let you know that the aircraft is now fueled as requested.
Roger. Departure frequency 118.1, Walker 4021. So the problem is,
Walker
the push to
4021,
talk
read back
doesn't
correct.
work on,
Contact ground 132.65 when ready for push or start.
so yeah, I think that ends up being the issue. So let me see if I can get the push to talk to work. Okay. Contact ground 132.65, Walker 4021. So yeah, a lot in my head here. Might be a bit confusing, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we're not ready for push and start yet. So let's see. 3, just making sure everything's good, no other groups. I think we're good there. Alright, so we're going to need the flight directors on. We're going to want LNAV. Okay, something's off then, because it should be able to do that. Why not? Let's see. Do I have... oh, I probably don't have my initial thing set here. So yeah, I need my takeoff, all that. Let's see. Climb. Okay, we're going to be at flight level 370, not 390. I don't know why that's coming in there, but I wonder if somehow the sim brief plan was off, but let's see. Alright, let me see. We are at 16,791 on the fuel. Yeah, okay. That should be fine. So I just wanted to make sure we didn't have any problems there. But yeah, at this point we need to request boarding, because otherwise we're not going to get out of here. Alright, looks like we're getting the stairs attached. Oh, that's right, because the PMDG people are, I think, leaving. And then we're going to get the GSX ones. So let's just make sure. Hello? I'll ask for stairs. I'm not sure why we're not hearing things. Okay, no worries. I'll give ground a call and get some attached. Give me a second. Alright, let me see. Oh, you know why? Because I think when we're outside the aircraft, I don't think we can hear. So I think that might have been the issue. Alright, let me try the push to talk again. Alright, boarding passengers now. That's good. So we're supposed to depart in 22 minutes. So we'll see how that goes. We should have, hopefully, the seatbelts on, otherwise we're going to have a problem. Hello?
Hi, Captain. The terminal staff are ready to send the passengers down. Can we start boarding?
Yes, you can start boarding. Yes, you can start boarding if you're ready. Yes, you can start boarding if you're ready.
No worries. I'll get the rest of the crew organized.
I think I was
and we'll make
talking
a start
too
in a
fast.
minute or two once the passengers start arriving from the terminal. All stations prepare to start boarding.
Alright, so I need to get my squawk in here. 02. Oh, goodness. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. It's a little bit
Hi, Captain.
disruptive.
To let you know that we started loading. We'll send the final load sheet up once we're ready.
Roger. Roger. It takes a while for it to get it, it seems. Alright. So 0230. We're gonna change this so we're all set there. Alright, we're gonna clear this. I'm just worried I don't. Now can I... Alright, I still can't do that. What is missing in my flight computer? Alright, takeoff is there. Route. Departure, arrival, legs. Alright. And I have departure. I wonder if it's simply because I'm facing too far away? No.
Go ahead.
Please disconnect GPU.
Roger. Stand by, please.
Okay, so we do need to get that set. Alright, we're gonna need to
Ground
get...
power has been
Roger. Alright. So... I'm a little worried that things are not going to be working well here. So let me see. Reference, N1 limit, N1. I'm going to set flaps to 5. That should actually change. Okay. So like all of this is set. Let's see. 2989 for my barometer. So let me adjust that down. 2989. Yeah, I'm just not understanding why I can't get this to work. So something is off. But heck if I can think of what it might be right now. I mean, yeah, we've got all this on. We should have all our lights off. We're good there. Yeah, I'm just worried my autopilot's not going to work, frankly. So let's see. Flight director. Alright, we've got flight director. VNAV is good, but LNAV won't turn on, which makes me feel like we have something weird going on.
Hello, Captain.
Sorry, my mind's gone blank. I'll call you back.
No problem.
Good morning from the cockpit. This is your captain speaking. Good morning from the cockpit. This is your captain speaking. I'd like to welcome you on board Western Air Express 6426 from Fort Worth to Concord. Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and let it do
I'd like
its
to
thing.
welcome you on board this morning's flight. I hope you're all well. We're currently preparing for departure up here in the cockpit, and once we're airborne, we'll be climbing to our cruise level of 37,000 feet. We hope to depart very shortly. We're not expecting any delays.
Now let's see, what's our wind? Alright. Okay. So I think that was it. I probably missed the welcome on board thing. Not sure. Okay, so the doors are closed.
Walker Air Transport Service. Please ensure to place your bags either in the overhead compartment or in the seat in front of you. We should be on our way soon, so make sure to fasten your seat belt and move your seat to its upright position. Thank you.
Hello? Hello?
Hi, Captain. The jetway detached. When it comes back, we'll continue boarding.
Okay, well, I would think we're boarded.
Okay, no problem. I'll contact ground and see if we can get some attached. Just give me a few seconds.
I don't
Thanks very
understand.
much.
Why does it not think... It says boarding completed. Oh, sometimes this is so much fun. Alright. So I think we're good. I just need to check here on... Is our first point? Yeah, it is. Alright, so I think what I need to do is maybe... Yeah, go here. And then maybe since we're not direct, it was having some difficulty. No, I don't know. Maybe we're totally in the opposite direction, so that might be the issue. Alright, because it's still telling me aircraft loading in progress, so it doesn't think it's done yet. I don't quite know why. Alright, I don't have anything for them. Let's see.
Cockpit to ground?
Because we should be done.
Hi. How is it looking for the loading?
It's probably about 5 minutes to go.
Alright. So, and that's the thing, like self-loading cargo will kind of do its own thing. It's supposed to work with GSX, but it's a little bit of a problem.
Roger.
So, we'll see how everything goes. But, yeah, so we're supposed to have 128 on, and that's the problem. Like, somehow, even though GSX said we were good, somehow it's not done. Now we're finally done, and the passenger boarding, so what it shows me is now it's waiting for the load sheet, which is from the cargo, and you can see we have 128 on board, 123 are seated and secured, you know, and everyone's happy. You know, there's a lot more detail. There's like 7 or 8 windows that occur with this. Let me make sure I've got what I need. So yeah, we're not ready for push and start yet. That's the next thing for BeyondATC. Just a little nervous that I'm going to get up in the air and we're going to have a disaster. And that's the challenge with some of this, is trying to do all that. So there really is no departure. I mean, there is this QSO departure, but there's nothing other than vectors that gets me out to that SAV point, which is where the departure starts at. So, so I don't know if that technically means there's not really a SID, or, you know, how that all works, but...
Ground to cockpit.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Goodness, this is... Go ahead. Alright, so I'm gonna stop the push to talk. Alright, intercom, hello?
Hello.
Hi, Captain. Okay, here's the load sheet from ground. I've written the passenger count here, the crew count here, and a total number of souls, not including yourself, here.
Thank you.
Okay, looks like we're all set to go whenever you're ready.
Okay, great. You can close the doors whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'll let the crew know, and we'll get closed up as soon as we can.
Alright.
All stations, please close doors.
So I'm going to go ahead and just use the
Go ahead.
buttons for now. Let's see, I'm sure the ground's just telling us they're done.
Loading has been completed. We're sending the load sheet up to you now. We'll contact you once the aircraft is closed up, then we'll get to moving.
Okay.
Roger.
Ground to cockpit.
Alright, so we're
Go ahead.
probably ready.
Call me when you require pushback.
Alright, so let's get our pushback from ground. Ground, pushback and start. Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, Alliance Ground. Pushback approved. Face west.
Face west 4021.
Actually, we're all set to go now. Feel free to get connected.
Roger.
Alright, so we're going to try to use GSX here. If we can't, we'll worry about other things.
Just heads up, your beacon light is not active.
Whoops. I thought I had all that already, so I'm going to get in trouble for that. Okay, who's calling?
Hi, Captain. We're just waiting for pushback to start. Then we'll start securing the cabin.
Alright. I need... let's see. So that's on. I think that should be good. I'm going to turn on the taxi light.
Thanks very much.
Alright, I let her get back to the passengers. They should be getting connected, hopefully. So yeah, it's saying preparing for pushback, tow truck connecting.
Go ahead.
Just a reminder, do you use software to track your virtual airline flights you might want to start it now, if you haven't already.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've done that, but that is a helpful thing they do. Yep, I am doing that. Alright, so we want the tail to the left.
Roger.
Oops. Don't have
Load
my
hatch,
control on.
service. Stand by while we start pushback.
Alright. So we should be good there. And then they should be
The parking
good.
brake is off.
Is it off? It is. Alright, are we moving? We are not. I don't know why. Alright, we're not going to interrupt pushback, but... just not sure what is happening. Always love it when things like this happen. Let me see. I may have to go into the menu here and get rid of the wheel chocks here. So there we go. Alright, release parking brakes. I think they are released. Yeah, there we go. Alright. So that was it. It just wasn't giving us the clear note. So we're pushed back according to this.
We clear the stand, and you're free to start engine.
Cabin crew, please arm doors and cross-check.
Starting engine 2.
Roger.
Alright, so let's do that. So, need to get that going. So, things should be spinning up shortly. Oh, I don't have bleed on. Darn it. Where is the... Doo-doo-doo. Alright, now I'm losing my mind. Oh, that's right. Engine bleed. Pack off. Pack off.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Starting engine
welcome
1.
on board this
Roger.
Walker Air Transport flight. We please ask your attention as we demonstrate the safety features on this aircraft. Please make sure your bags are either in the overhead compartment or under the seat in front of you.
Alright, so
It's important to
that
fasten
should
your
go.
seatbelt,
There we
even when the
go.
sign is off, in case we pass through unexpected turbulence. During taxi, takeoff, and landing, please fasten your seatbelt and make sure your seat is in the upright position. In case of a depressurization, oxygen masks will fall from above your seat. Please wear yours first before others. In case of an emergency, there are doors in the front, middle, and back of this aircraft. Locate the one nearest you, and it may be behind you. At this moment, please make sure your phone is switched to airplane mode. Your seatbelt is fastened.
Alright, we
and
have
your
no
seat is on its
fuel
upright position.
in the center
For further
tanks.
information, please read the
So
safety
we're all
information
set
card
there.
located in the seat pocket in front of you. Thank you for flying with Walker Air Transport. We wish you to seat back, relax, and enjoy your flight.
So, yeah, there's a little bit of that.
Parking
Okay.
brake is on.
Stand by. Please keep your parking brake on while we monitor engine startup and disconnect the switch.
Alright, so we want to go back to GSX here. Confirm good engine start. And then it should get the information. So, it's saying tow truck disconnecting right now from self-loading cargo. Alright. Got our taxi lights on. Okay, both engines have gone on, so let me get this turned on here. Alright, I'm not looking for anything. So let's see. Problem is I'm probably not doing the PA system stuff correctly. Now it appears okay. Alright. Okay, so removing the bypass pin according to that. So yeah, there's a bunch of things.
Looks like a good startup on all engines until it's disconnected. Nose wheel is free, so you're good to go. We'll get ourselves disconnected now, so have a safe flight. Look out for the pin on the left, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for the help. Pin on the left, and we'll see you next time.
Alright, so definitely, you know, I'll try to make things work a little smoother if I do this again, but that's always been the challenge with all of these add-ons kind of doing their thing, is there's just so much interaction that's happening.
All aircraft be advised information Romeo now current. Altimeter 2987.
Okay, so we've got information Romeo being current. That's all good. And we should now be set, so let's call for taxi. Request taxi to runway Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, runway tree 4 left taxi via Alpha. Hold short runway tree 4 right.
Runway 34 left, taxi via Alpha. Hold short runway 34 right. Okay. So, let me look at my map. There's too many things, so I think I'm gonna move my little nav map over there, because otherwise I don't know where I'm going. Alright, so let's see, 34 left. Alright, so I see where we need to go. Taxi via Alpha. Whoops.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. Everyone's seated and secured for takeoff.
You can take your seats now. We're almost ready.
No problem.
So yeah, that way I don't need to remember to call
All
back.
stations, please be seated for takeoff.
Because that's always a bit of a problem otherwise. I just turned on my parking brake. Don't want to do that. Alright. So we need to head out. We can usually get to about 30. That will let us roll. I'm still not sure on this autopilot thing, but we'll see. If not, we'll have a disjointed episode as I try to figure it out, or I give up and you see this a different way. So the problem is if I don't leave self-loading cargo on push to talk, like as I'm narrating to you, it basically is trying to interpret things, and so I think that's what was happening, where it was like suddenly turning things on, I was saying something that made it think I wanted to speak on the intercom system or something, and that was causing the problem. Alright, so to get out of here, we need to head this way. We should be good then. But this will get us through all the parking here that we had with the GA aircraft, the smaller ones. Obviously, got some lights here, even though I think it's in the morning, but clearly weather not so good today. You know, and the nice thing is you kind of have that background of the passengers. Now, the thing that's interesting that you'll end up hearing is you'll be able to keep hearing the lavatory door close, the toilet door, because obviously there's one right behind the cockpit. So, yeah, but I'm guessing my score here is going to be pretty miserable, because I think I just didn't do a lot of things in the beginning. I mean, I did give them info, but usually they you usually give them more, like we're not expecting weather, we're not, expecting this. Now we do have a bit of air coming on. Alright, so Alpha is here, and then we basically have to head down to the left to go to 34. And as we get closer to 34 right, it likely will call, because air traffic will be monitoring. Obviously, it's pretty quiet. I'm just speaking. The system's usually not that intelligent, I don't think, because it doesn't know about traffic.
Walker 4021, cross runway tree 4 right at Alpha. Continue taxi via Alpha.
Cross runway 34 right at Alpha. Continue taxi via Alpha. Walker 4021. Now, they're all Alpha is the problem, because this airport is so small. It doesn't have them. The date is bad. Like, even though this says, well, no, it says Alpha, so there you go. So the one we passed was Alpha. This one's Alpha. I'm thinking the next one's Alpha. Yeah, there's a bunch of planes here. This is kind of what we had in the evening. All right, we're going 23. That's the other thing with self-loading cargo. If we exceed 30, or we exceed some sort of G-forces on turning, we get dinged for that too, because obviously passengers would be uncomfortable. So you can see again, Alpha. So they're all Alpha, but we'll just get to the end here because we're going to need runway to take off, because we're not in a tiny little prop plane. But yeah, we've got, I think there's couple planes there. There's a couple more I can see. That's why I run little nav map, is it'll show me the traffic. There's one there over to the left. And that, I think, is it right now. But a good amount on the ground. Oh, this one's Bravo coming up amazingly. This one isn't listed. But, I mean, the other runway still is there. So I'm going to get to the end here, and then we'll cross. And it probably won't be Alpha, and maybe air traffic will be like, what are you doing, you crazy pilot? No, I thought we were close to the end, but map just moved again, and I still don't see the end. It looks like, I mean, obviously in front of me, it looks like I see the end. So, 11 minutes in. Okay, yeah, but this one I think is Alpha again. Again, not listed, but the next one should get me across. So, wind's at 11, unless it changed, which it may have. Alright, so we can cross 3-4, and at Alpha, there you go. So, that's where it's like, but it can only do what airport data has.
Contact Alliance Tower 135.15.
Contact Tower 135.15, Walker 4021. Alliance Tower, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, request not understood.
Walker... Oops.
Aircraft calling. I didn't get that.
Request departure, Walker 4021. I know what I meant.
Walker 4021, Alliance Tower, wind 325 at 10, a fly heading 100, runway 34 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 34 left, cleared for takeoff, Walker 4021. Alright, so we're going to line up here. Alright, so, because again, self-loading cargo is monitoring this. So I need to turn my landing lights on, turn my taxi light off, seatbelts are good. The transponder is on, right? Let me just make sure. Yes, transponder is on. That's something I would have gotten dinged because we're really not supposed to move without that being on, in case you're not aware. Movement off taxiway. Did the crew finish securing the cabin? That I don't know. Alright. So, let's see. We're not holding position, so we're not doing anything there. We've got seatbelts on, transponders on, cabins secured already. Toilets and Wi-Fi are being handled by the cabin crew. They're doing the lighting. Landing lights are on. And yeah, we just don't want to take off and all of that. Take off the runway is what I mean. So yeah, we're all set here. Now let's see. Can I do LNAV now? Oh my gosh. I don't like this. Let's see. What if I set my heading where we're going? I'm just not used to it acting the way this is acting. Alright. I don't know. I guess we're going to find out when we get up there. And if not, it's going to be a really unfun experience. So, we're going to hit Toga here. There we go. Okay, why is this not... Okay. That's weird. I've never had the PMDG do that. Like, it didn't respond to the toga touch point. I mean, it put toga up on the screen there, but on the
100 knots.
main display, but alright, let's take off. Alright, should be good.
Positive rate, gear up.
Alright, now can I do LNAV? There we go. Alright, thank goodness. So...
Walker 4021, contact regional departure. Have a good one.
Contact regional departure, Walker 4021. Alright, so we should be all set.
Good morning once again from the cockpit. I hope you're enjoying the flight so far. We're currently climbing up to our cruising altitude of 37,000 feet, so I thought I'd give you a quick update. We're expecting to arrive on time as planned. Progress is going very well. You'll next hear from me just before we start our descent. I'll be sure to keep you updated if anything changes, but in the meantime, please feel free to relax and take advantage of our onboard facilities.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. So basically, we want to get to 10,000. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. I thought I heard the cabin crew doing something. So it does measure things, self-loading cargo does, that you can't really control as easily. So such as turbulence and so forth. So it did give me an opportunity to say we might have some, which I probably should have, honestly. Alright, let's see. Can turn the landing lights off. Turn the seat belts off now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign, and you are now free to move around the cabin. However, be aware as we might pass through unexpected turbulence. Toilets are located in the front and on the back of this airplane. If you need any assistance, don't hesitate to ask. We hope you enjoy your flight.
All right. So let's
Ladies
go.
and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign, which means you are free to move around the cabin. However, you are reminded that for your safety, we do recommend that you remain seated with your belt fastened at all times in case of turbulence or any other potential incidents that could occur during the flight. Thank you.
All right. So they've got the toilets opened. So take a look here. Toilets open, Wi-Fi's on, and lights are being worked, and then, you know, they're going to automatically do things. So you can see we're going to have a drink service in 11 minutes, food service in 26, and then we're going to serve them some alcohol in 41 minutes. So when we get there, we'll look a little bit more, and we'll see what's going on there. Whoops, we didn't announce on frequency. Regional radar, Walker 4021, passing through 14,000 feet. So it hasn't been able to clear us.
Walker 4021, regional departure. Radar contact. Cleared direct salve. Resume the Kafw-Kjqf. Climb and maintain flight level 180.
Clear direct salve. Resume the Kafw-Kjqf. Climb and maintain flight level 180. Walker 4021. Okay.
Walker 4021, contact Fort Worth Center 1 tree.
So they may clear us. Contact Fort Worth Center 134.15, Walker 4021. Fort Worth Center, Walker 4021, passing through flight level 170 on the way to flight level 180.
Walker 4021, Fort Worth Center, climb and maintain flight level 370.
Climb and maintain flight level 370, Walker 4021. Alright, so we slowed down a little bit, but we're... well, I thought we were continuing, but right now it looks like maybe not. So hopefully it will soon. So let's see, because yeah, we should be at a higher flight level there.
Walker 4021, contact Fort Worth Center 132.85. Have a good day.
Whoops, what have we got going on? Oh, I don't have... That's my problem there. Somehow I didn't have auto throttle on. That's a bit scary. Alright, so... gonna get dinged for that, I'm sure.
Walker 4021, contact Fort Worth Center 132.85. Have a good day.
Contact Fort Worth Center 132.85, Walker 4021. Fort Worth Center, Walker 4021, flight level 180, on the way to flight level 370.
Walker 4021, Fort Worth Center, roger.
Alright, flaps are up, gears up, everything's good. The only difference is, alright, it's speeding up. Let's see, what if I turn off VNAV and then turn it back on? So let's see if it's gonna... It appears to be climbing, but it's like it needed that little kick in the pants to realize it could climb, which is weird, because yeah, now the engines are switching into N1. Alright, we're through here, so we want to get to standard. But now hopefully we'll head on to 370 and all will be well. Alright. So, still telling me an hour and 56 minutes, but we're also not up to cruise speed and so forth, so I assume that'll come down a bit. So we've hit Salve already, which I think was 40 miles away, or whatever. We've got 5 miles to the next one. But yeah, we've got 800 nautical miles to go. So I'm hoping that we get through it significantly faster than that. Now what? Alright, oh, do I not have, did I not turn packs on or something? No, everything's on, so I don't understand. Oh, no, it's not on, darn it. This may not be, I hate this, because then this isn't, like, clearable. I forget where the button, there's a button somewhere to turn this off. There we go. I knew there was some sort of a button somewhere, so I apologize for all that long time. Yeah, but I think the cabin pressure thing is gonna be an issue, so had missed flipping all that. Alright. So I think we're all set. Yeah, we're on Fort Worth Center. About 5 minutes from drink service. So, and you heard the toilet flush a second ago. So, you know, but we're heading along there. So let's see. Should be in good shape. On cruise, there isn't much other than the services happening on time. So, I guess I can show you a little bit here. So, you know, current time, it's when we left. We had 26 minutes block time. We left on time, so that was good. And then again, how people are moving around. You know, 46 are wearing their seatbelt, but most of them are still seated. They're very thirsty, obviously, which makes sense because, you know, they have stuff going on. But, you know, 2 passengers' toilets are in use. Cabin crew are very busy. So you can see things like that, you know, all that information. So it's a fun add-on. Definitely, you know, it gives you something else to focus on while you're flying, other than, you know, where BeyondATC certainly does that. But again, you can only imagine being a pilot, listening to that all flight long. How fun that must be. So, but that is what they've got. All right, we're down to an hour and a half, and we're still not, you know, we've got 11,000 feet, so we're going to be able to go faster and faster as we go. So I'm hoping we get down to like a hour and 15 or something, and that'll be a little bit better to deal with. I'm just actually happy the autopilot worked, and I wasn't like, oh no, I've got another problem. So to my knowledge, everything is functioning, and this should be a good flight. So I hope it wasn't too terribly disjointed in the beginning, but I guess that's part of the reality of how things work, as opposed to everything being perfectly fine. You know, I'm still even in Walker Air Transport, I'm still a pilot in training. I've only got, you know, barely 100 hours. You know, I think I'm working to get to my next rank. I've got 31 hours left, and I think that next rank is like 150 hours of flight time. So certainly relatively
Ladies and
new.
gentlemen, just to let you know, we will be starting our in-flight drink service in a few moments. If you could please clear all aisles and ensure that any bags are placed in the overhead lockers, it would be most appreciated.
Walker 4021, contact Fort Worth Center, tree 2025. Take care.
Fort Worth Center, 132.025, Walker 4021. Fort Worth Center, Walker 4021, passing through flight level 290 on the way to flight level 370.
Walker 4021, Fort Worth Center, roger.
All right. So no idea when we transition out of Fort Worth Center and into something else, and what we transition into. I don't know airspace well enough in that regard. So, and that's part of the fun here. So if you're not able to get on VATSIM, or you're afraid to get on VATSIM, you know, BeyondATC gives you that ability to still interact, but more importantly, like, it certainly has increased my confidence of being able to speak back appropriately. But I think there may be more chatter that happens on VATSIM, but maybe not for a flight like this. Like, once you're here, it may just literally be when they need to hand you off. Alright, so just so you see, so starting in a minute, we're going to have drink service. And then probably the most interesting thing that you can do as you fly is you can pull up this aircraft layout. So as you can see, you've got your plane. So you've got people in the seats, you've got people walking the aisle. You can click on somebody. So we can see here, this is Brooklyn Fisher from seat 03C. So she's from up front, and she's heading to the toilet. Assuming she's going to the back because, yeah, it looks like the toilet up here is full. Yeah, there's one open there, so there you go. So, and now she's using the toilet. And I think if we click off her, then that goes away, and we don't take up as much. But you get a lot of information here, which is nice. You know, who you are, departure, arrival, kind of the detail as things go. So we taxied for 12 minutes. We've now been flying for 15. You know, you can look at the passenger manifest or the layout. And here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to serve our hot drinks menu. Please make sure your tray table is in the down position and clear any items from the aisles. Thank you.
All right. And so you'll be able to see the flight crew coming out. So here you go. They've got a little cart. You know, there'll probably be more than one of them with a cart shortly. They're probably waiting for some people to go by here. There's another one with a cart. So you can see, like, they're working. And then, you know, if you click on them, Kent Lowe's serving drinks, Scarlett and Brandy. So we've got 3 cabin crew. They're all serving drinks, and there they go. Now, it's a little bit unrealistic in that I think he's going to walk or they're going to walk through each other. But again, they'd pass each other, but not with a drink cart. So, again, is it perfect? No. But it's pretty neat. And then you can see, like, the seats, it might be harder to see, but these 3 seats have turned pink instead of the white that we have across the way here. So basically, they've been served. So, you know, if we look at them, you know, they're drinking. So, you know, you can go through and then you can start to see kind of what they're doing. But if we go back to the progress menu, you can highlight this, I think up here actually, the bar actually, and you can see 13 of 128 or 10.2% of the seats have already had drinks served. So that's some of what self-loading cargo does. The rest of it is kind of what you've seen in the beginning. It's that conversation you'd have, but it also gives you that interaction now that we have actual air traffic control. It gives me that feeling, like, again, that threw me quite a bit, obviously. I had several really awkward moments in the beginning, because I've got things I need to do with air traffic, I've got things I need to do with the ground crew, I've got things I need to do with my cabin crew, and all those things are happening at once. So, you know, as an airline pilot, things can be a little hectic at various times. You know, and one of your goals on this is, you know, you want them to have a good flight overall, so that this is kind of everybody. And it's harder to impact some of this, but like you can see, you know, 81.6% of the people on the plane are healthy. I don't know exactly what that measures means. You know, we still have 47.4%. It just went down.
Contact Fort Worth Center 132.85.
Fort Worth Center 132.85, Walker 4021. Fort Worth Center, Walker 4021. Passing through flight level 350 on the way to flight level 370. Kind of lied, I could have...
Fort Worth Center, Roger.
Was really passing through flight level 360 is what I should have said, but you can see the thirsty's going down, you know, the hungry's still up, but, you know, we're serving food in 11 minutes. Hopefully they'll have drink service done, because the problem ends up being, like, if they don't, then things start to back up. It's always fun. Like, there's always people that are drunk on the plane, so obviously we haven't even served alcohol yet. And, you know, we've got stuff. You know, if there's a movie they're watching, you know, no one's sleeping right now. 34 people are drinking, you know, and 85 are using Wi-Fi. So it's interesting. It gives you just you know, that feeling that something's happening in your plane rather than you're just flying this empty thing that's operating in the back. But, you know, 35 minutes, 36 minutes in total. And I don't usually keep all of this open, but just figured I'd share that with you guys so you can see what is available. You know, the other thing, you can see the narration, so you can kind of see everything that happened. You know, and we've got going there as well. Still got our cabin error, which is disappointing. All right, well, we're at cruise speed, and we still have an hour and 20 minutes.
21. Contact Fort Worth Center 123.9 or 25. See you.
Fort Worth Center 123.925. Walker 4021.
Ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know that we've just begun preparing the food service and will be starting service shortly. If you could please ensure all aisles are clear and bags are placed in the overhead lockers, that would be much appreciated. Thank you.
So they give a little bit of an earlier warning. I'm waiting on the announcement, so let me announce on frequency. Fort Worth Center, Walker 4021, flight level 370.
Walker 4021, Fort Worth Center, roger.
But just was letting you hear that announcement and so forth. You know, it doesn't appear that we're even halfway done with the drink service yet. You know, and the thing you would have seen if we had the crew up, one of those flight attendants would have left from serving drinks and they would have been walking to the intercom, using the intercom. So, like, all that is built into the model. So it's kind of interesting. Oh, see, so now, well, this is going to be interesting, because we basically only have one person continuing the drink service, and then 2 people are already preparing the food service. So this is probably honestly not great. Yeah. So I had these things a little too close together, because on other flights... Okay, so he's done. Now he's coming back out to serve drinks, so we'll probably be okay. But yes, if we don't have 2 people serving drinks, we're going to have a problem. So that seat just turned pink, so obviously he probably already had their drink order when he had to step away, and now Scarlett is coming out and is going to... So food service is basically ready. It's still 7 minutes away, but at this point, you know, that's what ends up happening, which is definitely interesting. And you can adjust those settings in config files and so forth to determine how far apart, how long you want them to wait. So, you know, for example, like food service, I think they wait every 2.5 hours or something. I don't remember if it was that. Maybe it was every hour and a half that we do some sort of food service, and that might be the drink service, but... And so that's how it determines with the length of the flight, with the block time, like what it would do. Because the challenge ends up being, like, once we start descending and we're kind of below 10,000, like we're starting to tell the cabin crew to secure the cabin and stuff. So that's where things might not finish on time. And so you're always careful, because otherwise passengers get upset, if you think about it. I mean, if they've been told, hey, you're going to get 3 drink services on this flight, and suddenly we only give them 2, or we give them like 2 1/4, like they come out, but then they run out of time and have to put everything away and secure for landing, people are less happy. But we are 39 minutes away from Fort Worth at this point. A little bit of a meandering river there. Let's see if I can tell where we're at all. I'm looking at the names of any of the airports that I can see. I have no idea. Let me see. Is Navigraph any more informational? El Dorado. Are we still in Texas? We could be. Yeah, there's Texarkana, which I think is on the border of Arkansas and whatever. But yeah, I think we're still over Texas. That is crazy. That's a lot. But, you know, not a lot of planes right directly around. Well, no one's directly around us. They're all many miles away. But yeah, we finally got to Fork, which was the transition from the departure. So we've actually just run the departure leg out of Alliance Airport. But, and we've got, what, 49 miles to the next waypoint. So I will keep this moving. Don't know how many of you will keep watching it, but you know, this is kind of how a flight would go, I would imagine. There's not a lot happening. Get to keep listening to the toilet behind us as people use it. But, you know, we've still got an hour and 16 minutes, so you'll kind of know where to skip ahead. I mean, there will be chapters on the video, I'm sure, about at least the descent beginning or something, or landing, if nothing else.
4021. Contact Fort Worth Center 128.2.
Fort Worth Center 128.2, Walker 4021. Fort Worth Center, Walker 4021, flight level 370.
Walker 4021, Fort Worth Center, Roger.
So it'll certainly be more interesting when traffic is present, so that, you know, this traffic kind of in the airspace around us, you know, we might hear them calling in. So once BeyondATC gets to that point, you know, the question I will have, I guess, is it going to be as fleshed out a traffic service as what we've got here? Because, for example, I've got 15 to 20 aircraft I can see on my little nav map. Once again, since we're not doing anything, you know, but we're here and they're kind of all arrayed, you know, heading away from us, whatever it is. But like I said, nobody's really close. Apologize for the yawn there, but you know, they're close enough that we might still be hearing traffic, because I'm sure we're all talking to Fort Worth Center. It's just a question of, are we all on the same frequency? And I'm guessing to some degree that's why they're passing us over from controller to controller in the same center, is they're each in control of a certain piece of airspace. But there's, you know, Texarkana that we were passing and so forth. But, you know, will there be that much traffic, or more or less, with the BeyondATC version of traffic? Now, I'm perfectly fine with BeyondATC the way it is. I'm sure I'll enjoy it with additional traffic, but because of that, I'm not like, oh my goodness, I can't wait, I can't wait. I'm honestly expecting that it's going to take through the remainder of the year, like that we're not going to see traffic until 2025. I could be wrong. I think people are definitely assuming that I would be wrong. So I think after 2-3 months, I'm thinking there's going to be a lot more, hey, where's traffic? Hey, where's traffic? Questions. But once again, I'd rather they get it right. The pace of updates for BeyondATC has slowed a bit. We started again the original early access release that we were able to utilize was 0.14. We are now on 0.30. And we are a little over 2 weeks beyond that. So they were somewhat, you know, on pace. They were kind of doing an update a day, but there have been days this week where I've checked because I've used BeyondATC for other things and so forth. But you know, actually, I'm flying 2 of these NASCAR legs in this week, so that was where I was. And I spent like an hour and a half, but that was more plane issues. So there's some weird issue happening with the Airbuses, both the Phoenix and the fly-by-wire. They just do not load into Microsoft Flight Simulator consistently. There are probably more times than not you'll load them in and they're not operational, and then you have to try again. And the problem ends up being, given that BeyondATC is kind of back at the you must load at the menu thing, it just is more of a pain. So I've honestly just made a conscious decision to not fly the Airbuses when I'm doing any of these tools, which is somewhat unfortunate because I enjoy flying the Airbuses. But you know, and I've tried to test, like, is it the tool interaction? But even with nothing started up, the Airbuses aren't loading right. So you know, I've got a question into Phoenix. Obviously, fly-by-wire's free. Oh, food service.
We are about to serve our breakfast and lunch menu. Please make sure your tray table is in the down position and clear any items from the aisle. Thank you.
And yes, you'll notice BeyondATC, self-loading cargo, like, is aware of what time it is, so it will go ahead and make appropriate announcements. You know, it'll say our dinner service. In this case, it said our breakfast and lunch service because we're kind of, I think, right in the middle. Again, I can't translate Zulu time. I'm terrible with that. I'd have to look it up. So 14:51 Zulu over Texas. You know, I'm sure it's mid-morning, and so it's kind of that brunch position between, you know, 10, 11 a.m. and it may be, you know, hey, some people may want something a little other than breakfast, so they're offering that. Whoa. I always love when we get that. I'm sure that will be some. We didn't say there was going to be any turbulence, and we had some, and so passengers are upset. They're still satisfactory flight and very thirsty. So, and it does not show that the drink service is not complete, so we did get done. Now the problem we're going to have is the alcohol service is starting in 13 minutes. I know it takes them longer to serve food. So, yeah, this is probably not the best call right now, but I can't do anything about it now. Although, well, actually, I think I can. I can delay it and then make it a manual service. So I will do that because we have enough flight time and I want to get them going ahead and doing that. So, you know, it's kind of cool because you just basically right-click or click on this and you can see now it's automatic with the little green dot. Otherwise, it's manual. And so I can now hold off. So I end up doing that a lot of times where I'll either start a service early or, you know, sometimes it's rare that I've delayed one like this. But it's usually more something like, ooh, I know I'm running tight. I'm going to start the movie to make sure we're done before. But the movies have had some problems in that there have been times where suddenly we've started a movie and it's been a 10-hour movie. So that's a little unrealistic, and it was a bit frustrating on that flight that it's like, really, I'm going to get dinged for an unfinished service when it had something totally ridiculous, but, you know, it is what it is. Alright, so we've got 100 miles to what looks like SOS. It's SQS. I see it in little nav map. It's over Sidon, where ELD was over El Dorado. We still haven't gotten moved from Fort Worth Center, so maybe we're going to get transferred completely out finally.
Walker 4021.
Oh, there we go.
Contact Memphis Center 135.875. See you.
Contact Memphis Center 135.875, Walker 4021. Memphis Center, Walker 4021, flight level 370.
Walker 4021, Memphis Center, roger.
I'm sure we've got a long way to go to Memphis Center. So yeah, we're under 600 miles for the whole trip, but still over an hour to go. So I apologize. I was looking around a little bit. So yeah, we're over Arkansas, and then obviously we'll be heading into Mississippi and so forth. But yeah, Memphis is north of us, of the track we're flying right now. But trying to come up with something to chat with you about, but not much, you know, so I don't know. I don't know what pilots do, commercial pilots, at this point. They sit and read a magazine, peek at the instruments? I don't know. Normally now, I would be, you know, doing something on a tablet or, you know, doing something else while the plane was flying, because I don't normally do all of this, and that's where, like, the BeyondATC and being able to do auto response and that is nice. And you can do that with self-loading cargo, and as I said, they have an actual mode where you can't do anything, where I can still, in this mode, manually change and say, yeah, go ahead and automatically respond, and then I don't have to worry about it. So that would be the same thing up until a few releases ago. They didn't have that other alternative, but it's like if you know your whole flight is really not something you're going to want to interact with, you can just set that up, and then it does everything. The frustrating part with that, frankly, though, was even with that, the point where it makes calls and it does things, I still lost points in the scoring. And, you know, I'll show you the flight report at the end that you get from self-loading cargo. It's definitely thorough. What I typically do, and that's what I'm doing now, although I didn't take as much time as maybe I normally do to look it over, but I have it in front of me, a previous flight report, so that I know what it's going to be scoring. And the flight report also includes comments if you've done something, or you know, even if it's all worked, like what that particular item is and what the expectation of self-loading cargo is. And that's usually the expectation is more a timing thing. Some of it's an execution thing. I talked about when I was taxiing that you know, I don't want to make any sudden moves or turn while moving at high speed because it'll create passenger discomfort. And again, that's part of what you're trying to do, because obviously as an airline pilot, that would be part of your job. You're going to be you know, trying to make sure everything works. So just like anything else, just like I've kind of in NeoFly decided, well, you know, I don't know that BeyondATC is workable right now because it doesn't do VFR, and the only plane I've got is a Cessna 152 where I can take one passenger, so even like self-loading cargo, like I have no crew. So there's not really a way to use it for that, nor a need, because this is more obviously for bigger airliners for the most part. And you can certainly use it with smaller aircraft. The nice thing with it is people can put out their own layouts.
Hi, Captain. I just wanted to come by and ask if everything was going okay.
Yes, everything is fine. Thanks for asking.
Great. Call me if you need anything.
Okay, so sometimes the other thing they'll do is, like when they're serving drinks and whatever, they'll also ask, you know, do I want a drink or whatever. I think I may have that turned off, because I might have toggled that on or off because I was doing a lot of long flights where I was trying to have things work appropriately, and I wanted fewer comments. But going back to the automatic mode, the thing that was kind of disappointing is I still lost points in my flight report for calls not being made. So, for example, notifying the cabin crew and all that. So, you know, there may be just a coding issue, but I also don't know if it's showing some of the constraints of just there's so much that you could be announcing that sometimes that becomes the reality, is you just don't have enough time to get through everything, and so you just got to be careful, and it's just not realistic to get through all those announcements and all that service and you know, all of that. So speaking of service, the food service is now, let's see, 60.9% complete. But yeah, I think we'd be getting really close. Yeah, starting in 4 minutes is what it said. I just turned it on really quickly. It's going to announce it.
In a few minutes, we will
But
be serving alcoholic drinks. If you could please ensure all aisles are clear and bags are placed in the overhead lockers, that would be much appreciated.
now,
Thank you.
I'm hoping that because I did that, because it hasn't gone away to manual service, I'm thinking it may have triggered the alcohol service. So that's unfortunate. So let's take a look. Well, so far they're serving food. They're all serving food. You know, and again, you know, no one's drinking anymore. You've got 29 people eating. So obviously, you know, it's taking a bit. The good news is, you know, we're down to 18% needing the toilet. Nobody's bored. Very few people are bored. I guess that's a good thing. We've kept them busy enough. I think that's going to change in the back half of the flight, because for this first hour, they've been able to sit and watch everybody wander around. But after we finish the alcohol service, and yeah, so you can see he's now gone off and is preparing that, which will slow down the food service. So the curiosity killed me there. If I had just left it alone and said, yeah, I'm definitely going to be longer, I would have been okay. Because, yeah, right now we are at, what, 70% only. And we've got 2 minutes left till alcohol service starts. So the challenge is going to be, I assume they're going to finish the food service before they go do the alcohol service. But I don't know. As I glanced over on the stats of the people, literally everyone was sitting at one point. I don't know that I've seen that once the seatbelt sign is off. There's usually always somebody up. So, alright, coming up on 500 miles to go. You know, our ground speed's 511, so we're moving along at a pretty good clip. But we're just obviously got a little bit of a flight, and there's several of these that are longer. So my 2 cents on this, as far as episodes and whatever, unless you guys are like dying for this and are like, yeah, we want to see it all, we want, you know, even if there's dead air or whatever, I'm not sure that this makes a lot of sense, because like I said, I would normally be just doing something else to pass the time for an hour and a half of this 2-hour flight, because really once I've taken off and I've done the ATC commands, and even if I'm using self-loading cargo, like, it's just services that it takes care of. And that was again why I turned off the message, the contacts for me of ask for food or whatever, is I could still even do self-loading cargo where I am responding, and it would work fine, because there's nothing that I need to be doing during the cruise stage other than them answering them of, do I want anything? And so if I don't have them asking me anything it happens a lot less frequently. Like, once again, why she came on board to check, or called me to check something. I don't know that I've seen that behavior, but it may have been because I've never done it. Because where I've been running it automatically is I have tried to run it on like long haul flights that were like 12 hours or something, and it worked. It's just, like I said, it didn't do the announcements at the right location in some cases, and it caused me an issue. I don't think I've ever gotten better than a B something on the grading scale for any flight, so it's definitely a challenge, and I've done, I don't know, 12 or 15 of them in self-loading cargo. I've had it for quite some time, but I haven't used it in months at this point.
Walker 4021, contact Memphis Center 132.5. Have a good one.
Contact Memphis Center 132.5, Walker 4021. Memphis Center, Walker 4021, flight level 370. Kind of forgot I needed to call him in. I was looking at self-loading cargo, and
Memphis Center, Roger.
I'm going to pull up the people again. Alright, they're serving, okay, because it's saying food is starting shortly. So it's a bit strange, because it's 93% done. And alcohol is showing no services scheduled. Now I'm wondering if that's because... okay, now if I turn on the automatic thing... Alright, so now they're heading to the intercom. You can see Scarlett is going to the intercom to probably announce that they're starting the alcohol service. Kent is finishing serving food. So it looks like...
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to serve our alcoholic drink selection. Please make sure your tray table is in the down position and clear any items from the aisles. Thank you.
Alright. But yeah, it was giving me a yellow no service scheduled. I'm like, did it basically hit it? It wasn't on time, and therefore it's like, oh, I'm just going to skip it, and I was going to be penalized, but it doesn't look like it. So we are at, what? We were at 90.3, we're at 96.1, 96.9. We've got 4 people left who have not gotten food. So that's probably why Brandy is finishing off the food, and the other 2 have switched to the alcoholic drinks. But yeah, definitely feedback, and maybe that's the thing, like an episode here in this series that kind of showcases this, because I wanted it to be a little bit longer before I used it, which is why I didn't do it right away. But as I was thinking about it yesterday, and I was looking at this flight of about 837 miles, I'm like, yeah, it's going to be an hour and a half, 2 hours, so there's enough time for different services to take place and so forth. But maybe doing that every once in a while when I just feel like doing it and showing it works. But as I said, because this isn't really a demo of everything, unless you know what they are or how they work. I suppose the things I can share for those who are interested, obviously, most of the, well, actually all of the add-ons that I'm using that are providing any functionality are payware. So BeyondATC, you need to pay the $30 to purchase. Self-loading cargo, same type of thing. I think it was like $35 if I remember correctly. I may be way off, so like don't go complaining to the company, hey, I heard this guy on YouTube say you got it for 35 when maybe I paid 50 or more. I don't know. It's been
Walker
a long time.
Contact Memphis Center 128.5. Have a good day.
Contact Memphis Center 128.5, Walker 4021. Memphis Center, Walker 4021, flight level 370.
Walker 4021, Memphis Center, Roger.
Alright, I am going to actually lower my altitude so that when we hit the descent, that it will be good. So that was one of the other reasons I was fine picking the 737 and likely would have either way, even if the A320s weren't giving me difficulty, is that when we hit the top of descent, it will start on its own, and I don't have to worry about that. So speaking of that, let me
Walker 4021, contact Memphis
go out
Center,
a little further.
132.75.
Wow, that was a quick handoff. Contact Memphis Center 132.75, Walker 4021. Memphis Center, Walker 4021, flight level 370.
Walker 4021, Memphis Center, roger.
Now I am surprised. There's still one person left to get food. Because I'm surprised the food service hasn't ended. I mean, the alcoholic drinks are actually, it looks like, yeah, they're over half done. So, and once again, they're drinks, they're faster. It's alcohol, obviously not everyone will get it. So if there's children on board, I'm sure they just get skipped very quickly. So, you know, alcohol can probably happen pretty quickly. But what I'm worried is it's going to finish everything and then it's going to go feed that last person at the end. Or worse, that it won't actually finish, but I'm imagining it will. I thought for a while like everyone was served, but it was just putting the carts away. But I'm not seeing anything that indicates that's what it is. So, sorry. I was a little more down at the panel, but it's not as if staring at the skyline and Earth you can't deduce down below is that different. But alright, and again, the problem is now we've got people getting thirsty, but we don't have any more drink service or anything. So we run the danger of them not saying it was a satisfactory flight. But yeah, we're not even
Walker
halfway.
4021, contact Memphis Center 127.1.
Contact Memphis Center 127.1, Walker 4021. Memphis Center, Walker 4021, flight level 370.
Walker 4021, Memphis Center, roger.
Just checking self-loading cargo again. It looks like we're almost 85.2%. They just served another person, so we will be done. The good news is then we won't have any service that isn't done. But again, we may just have people upset that they're thirsty or whatever. But hopefully within 30 minutes we'll be starting our descent, and you know, people will be focused on other things. But we'll see how everything moves along. Alright, looks like we're coming up on some sort of airport. Let's look outside. I don't know that we're gonna see anything, but there is, might be there. There's a lot of planes. There's an airport. You know, that usually indicates some sort of airport and so forth. So, but not seeing anybody. And it looks like, you know, they're at 11,000 feet, 1,000 feet. So everybody's well below us. But yeah, it looks like there's a lot of Cherokee aircraft, like Cherokee Airlines, I think. So maybe that's like North Carolina, Cherokee, North Carolina, near the Tennessee border. There may be an airport there, and so it's just a lot of little general aviation stuff. I don't know. Well, it looks like we're heading to some sort of clouds ahead of us there. So, hoping that doesn't mean we're landing in terrible conditions. I guess let me look. Well, it's still green VFR according to Navigraph, so I think we're okay. But yeah, at this point we're kind of like right on top a lot of planes, you know, probably 10 planes or something, so are around us right at this moment. Because yeah, I think it's Talladega National Forest that is going to be a little bit ahead of us and kind of in that direction where we can't obviously see through the front of the cockpit. Alright, and so Thrasher is what I would call that, which is 206 miles away. That is the starting point of then the star. Well, actually, Thrasher in theory, no, I get it is. Yes, it's the start of the Jules 1 arrival. And so we'll see what that happens, but we're then going to have to go up and past the airport. We're again going north because we're landing on 20. The airport is north of us the way we're coming in, so there's kind of going to be a little bit of flight around the airspace there where we'll have time to go down and all of that. I guess now is not a bad time to take a peek, see if we have the data we need for descent. No, we do not. Alright, we're going to say 30-degree flaps. That will help give us the info, I think, to be able to descend. But yeah, you can see 200 and then almost 150 miles to Jules, and then we start getting some others. I suppose the other thing I can do, I was going to go ahead and put in some points to get me from the end of the line up. So let me see, where can I go? Alright, so I'm going to go with Jelno. So we're going to put Jelno after withdrawal, 29 miles. And then yeah, then we can just go to BZM, so we can just take that, move it up, execute 33, and that way we've at least split it a little bit, and that might help too with distance, because yeah, you can see now it's interesting, we've got to be above 4,000 there, so hopefully it won't take us down at that point. I guess let me check, because we've got a long way to go after that. Alright, I'm not sure why it was basically dinging us for the descent, but we're not anywhere near that I know of, so I'm going to have to take a peek and see if I can see anything here. So if I go out to 320, like, yeah, we're still not seeing it. Problem is, I go out that far, I'm not sure that I'll be able to see it on the map enough. Yeah, there's deceleration. The top of descent's probably there, but it's kind of on Jules. But yeah, basically the wood or whatever it was, you know, whoops, you know, if we look at, well, I guess it's withdraw, so that's not that. But I'm like, it's saying 4,000, and that's because if I was coming in on the south end, that would make sense, but we're not doing that. trying to get set. So the problem ends up being like I have to hold the control key down to change the camera angles, so maybe what I need to do is set the push to talk key if I can in self-loading cargo to something else. The challenge I had is I've never really used the push to talk because I've not had BeyondATC, nor have I normally recorded straight through a long flight like this, and so if there isn't push to talk, it's just picking up when I speak. That obviously causes way too many problems, but the challenge I found is it doesn't seem to pick up my speech very well, where normally without the push to talk it does a decent job. So that's why I was waiting a long time to try to make sure like it was listening and it had dead air before to separate from, instead of having other things in the background that it was getting maybe confused with and why it was taking so long. Alright, we're coming up on about 350 miles, which in and of itself is a long flight, but keep in mind that destination distance is kind of as the crow flies to the airport. So we probably really have like 400 miles at least, if not 450, with all the stuff we need to do. Now once we, I think, hit Thrasher and start heading to Jules, I think we go a little bit northeast. Where right now we're on a heading of 88, so we're almost going due east. But I think we start heading north a bit once we get to the next point.
Walker 4021, contact Atlanta Center 134.05.
Contact Atlanta Center 134.05, Walker 4021. Atlanta Center, Walker 4021, flight level 370.
Walker 4021, Atlanta Center, roger.
Okay, so with Navigraph up, I guess again I'll pull this over because there's nothing else to show. Like you can see the line between Memphis and Atlanta. So very much so as I hit that line is when the handoff happens. I've noticed that as I've been watching a little more closely. Now again, within the various spaces and so forth, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. There's these orangish lines that maybe are dividers of some sort. I thought they were roads, like main roads down below, but maybe not. So we'll see, because I'm kind of crossing one now. I was just going to see if it handed me off again, and it did not. So I didn't know if it was like, okay, I was in one Atlanta Center controller space and now I'm in another. But we're basically heading over, coming up on Birmingham probably in 50 miles or so. So pretty much straight in front of us. Doesn't look like we can really see it. Maybe that's it, because we are going to be passing kind of on the northern side. So it could be, because that might be the airport there, because the orientation of the runway is kind of correct. So Birmingham is one of the ones in VATSIM in the RTAC that I'm part of with Atlanta. That's an airport I can control at least the ground services. I don't have any tower capability yet. I'm trying to get my tower training, but I've been searching for a training session for 2 months now. Haven't gotten one, and there's like 8 or 9 things you've got to do. So I think it's going to be a long time before I get to tower, if I have the opportunity to even do that. So we'll see what happens, but you know, right now I mainly do ground and clearance, so pretty familiar with that, but haven't actually been on controlling in a while either. I really need to probably do that at some point, but been having way too much fun doing all these things and sharing them with you guys, so we'll see how everything pans out. Alright, well the reality is, at this point, we have got a ways to go. And I need to eat lunch. So I'm going to let this continue on. I'm going to put on auto respond on BATC. And I'm also going to do that on self-loading cargo. So if anything needs to happen, you'll hear responses in the back, but you're going to have silence from me for a while. So for some of you, that might be good. For others, might not be so good, but I'll be back in a little bit.
Walker 4021, contact Atlanta Center 1 tree 4.905. Contact Atlanta Center 134.905, Walker 4021. Atlanta Center, Walker 4021, flight level 370.
Walker 4021, Atlanta Center, roger. Walker 4021, contact Atlanta Center 133.8. Take care.
Contact Atlanta Center 133.8, Walker 4021. Atlanta Center, Walker 4021, flight level 370. Walker 4021, Atlanta Center, roger. Walker 4021, contact Atlanta Center 135.0. Take care. Contact Atlanta Center 135.0, Walker 4021. Have a good day. Atlanta Center, Walker 4021, flight level 370.
Walker 4021, Atlanta Center, roger. Walker 4021, Atlanta Center, amendment to your route advise ready to copy.
Affirmative, ready to copy, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, expect Jules 1, runway 20.
Jules 1, runway 20, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, contact Atlanta Center 128.0.
Contact Atlanta Center 128.0, Walker 4021, see you. Atlanta Center, Walker 4021, good day, flight level 370.
Walker 4021, Atlanta Center, roger. Walker 4021, contact Atlanta Center 127.5.
Contact Atlanta Center 127.5, Walker 4021. Atlanta Center, Walker 4021, good day, flight level 370.
Walker 4021, Atlanta Center, roger. Walker 4021. Contact Atlanta Center 124.45. Take care.
Contact Atlanta Center 124.45. Walker 4021. Atlanta Center, Walker 4021. Good day. Flight level 370.
Walker 4021. Atlanta Center. Roger. Walker 4021. You're off course. Cleared direct Hartwell. Resume own navigation.
Affirmative. Clear direct Hartwell. Resume own navigation. Walker 4021.
Walker 4021. Descend via Jules 1 arrival. Concord Regional Airport landing runway 20, altimeter 2988.
Descend via Jules 1 arrival. Concord Regional Airport landing runway 20, altimeter 2988. Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, contact Atlanta Center 127.5.
Contact Atlanta Center 127.5, Walker 4021. Atlanta Center, Walker 4021, descending via Jules 1.
Hello.
Flight level
Hi,
370.
How are things? All good.
Walker 4021,
Thanks for asking.
Atlanta Center,
Everything's going
Roger.
great.
Give me a call if you need anything else.
Walker 4021, contact Atlanta Center 135.35.
Contact Atlanta Center 135.35, Walker 4021. Have a good one. Atlanta Center, Walker 4021. Good day. Descending via Jules 1. Flight level 370.
Walker 4021, Atlanta Center, Roger.
Alright, since things are moving, you can obviously see that I am back. So, just trying to catch up where we're at. Whoops. So yes, top of descent is after that point between chapter and withdraw, is what I'm going to call it. So we're not too far away. But I see, you know, they basically told us to descend. Let's see. Resume own navigation. Okay, yeah, we're closer to Hartwell now, so it looks like it thought we got offline, which is interesting, but that's the way we were going. But yes, I do appear a little bit offline, so yeah, I don't think it was sending us through Hartwell. But I'm going to turn the auto respond off. Alright, and then yeah, they were just checking on me and the captain, so alright, so I'm gonna go ahead. I think I can issue the, let's see.
Good morning once again from the cockpit. I hope all is well with you and you're enjoying flying with us so far. We'll be descending in just a few minutes from now. The arrival weather forecast looks a little windy, but other than a few bumps, it should be a fairly straightforward approach into the airport. We're not expecting any delays, so we should be able to land fairly quickly. Once we do start our descent, please make sure to listen carefully to any instructions from our cabin crew and pay special attention to the seatbelt sign. Thanks very much for flying with us, and I'll speak to you again shortly.
Alright. So again, just trying to avoid any challenges of repeating things 50 times or whatever. So I mean, part of the fun is without the push to talk, or, you know, it does give you scripts of things you can read and so forth. As you operate. But obviously you saw what happened at the start of this video where I was just repeating, you know, hello, hello, hello to the ground crew over and over. So that obviously is not something I want to be doing because it's irritating to me and it's irritating to you. So we're just using the automatic responses there and making choices as we go along. But as you saw, basically, you know, are we expecting any turbulence? What's the weather going to be like? This, that, and the other thing is what we're looking at doing. Alright, so basically between chapter and withdrawal, so we should be seeing that coming up pretty soon. But basically, withdrawal is the end of the Jules arrival. And then we're heading up those 60 miles or whatever it is to the north end of the airport to be able to descend on the ILS approach to runway 20. So, but given the clouds I see and so forth, that's why I gave the moderate description, because I'm assuming we're going to hit a few bumps here and there. So, satisfactory flight is where we're still sitting. And, yeah, I'll just stick on. I won't use the microphone at all, and that will help with various pieces as well. So I was not aware that there was a checklist here, so, So that's actually better than what I've been doing. My seatbelt sign was definitely switched on. Well, maybe not. Seatbelt check tag. When did I turn on the seatbelt? Okay, you didn't keep... Yeah, I guess I was standing on the runway for a bit. Alright, well, we definitely had the seatbelt on. And see, the descent in whatever minutes. I just did that. So... But, you know, I don't know.
Good morning once again from the cockpit. I hope you're enjoying the flight so far.
So I'm doing the PA
Just to
system.
keep you updated, we look to be making good progress and are expecting to arrive on time as planned. We'll keep you posted if anything changes, but in the meantime enjoy the remainder of the flight, and I'll speak to you again once we're about to start our descent. Thanks.
Alright, so now actually I want to... Alright, so there's nothing. Whoops.
Hello, Captain.
Sorry, I've completely forgotten what it was I wanted.
No problem.
Not really, but in any event. Alright, so we're coming up on the descent. But yeah, this is actually a helpful little thing. I came across that, and I don't know if it's new or not, but in any event, I'm going to monitor that a little bit as we go along. So yeah, it's not telling me to request any descent, because basically we said we would be descending via Joules, but we weren't descending via Joules because, again, here at this point, we would have been at 4,000 feet. And then we would have been traversing around Charlotte at 4,000 feet for 60 miles.
Leave WHERW heading 035. Expect radar vectors for ILS runway 20.
Leave heading 035, Walker 4021. So we're going to see we're at 42. We're going to turn a little bit. Not sure it's going to be 035. It's really looks like it's going to be more like 015, but that will work the way that we've wanted to go.
Walker 4021, contact Charlotte approach 128.325.
Contact Charlotte approach 128.325, Walker 4021. Charlotte approach, Walker 4021, descending through flight level 330, heading to ILS runway 20 approach.
Walker 4021, verify information mic.
We have information, Mike. Walker 4021.
Walker 4021 Charlotte approach. Altimeter 2988, expect radar vectors for
Good
ILS
afternoon
runway
once
20.
again from the cockpit. As you may have noticed, we've begun our descent.
Alright, so how long does it think it's going to take? So the problem is, let me look at my... Actually, my computer might be the best
Walker
thing.
4021 Charlotte approach. Altimeter 2988, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 20.
So, is it giving me any information? It probably is, but I don't know how to read it. So, let's see. Alright, well, we lost the opportunity to give them the descent.
Walker 4021,
So,
Charlotte.
expect radar vectors, ILS runway 20, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, turn right, heading 040 vectors for the approach. Expect further clearance in about 60 miles.
Turn right 040, expect clearance in 60 miles, Walker 4021. Alright, so now I'm curious. Yeah, so I didn't give any predictions, so I've lost 25 points for that. But let me go ahead and get things going here on... Well, seatbelts are on auto, so we should be okay. So I think we're good there. But I think we're far enough. I don't know. We can probably prepare the crew. So let me go to the intercom. No, I guess not yet. And yeah, the service provision is all good. Yeah, so the problem is, like, it tells us to go ahead.
Hi, Captain.
And then it doesn't give us a choice.
How's it going?
There's nothing much to report. Everything seems to be going okay.
Okay,
Right.
no problem. I'll let you get back to work.
So this is a point I lose points on all the time, because we're supposed to turn the seatbelt on sign prior to making the prepare for arrival announcement. Make sure you tell the turn on the seatbelt before instructing the cabin crew to prepare for arrival. So I guess we just kind of need to wait till we get lower. Alright, let's get us down to probably, as we said, like 4,000 feet. Because at this point, yeah, we're past the Gelno. We just got past that, and we've got about 30 miles to go to the other point, which is where we start on the ILS. And right now, we're basically, the airport is directly in that direction, but with the clouds, we really can't see much. But in theory, we're 25 miles away from the airport in that case. Alright, and they told us 2988, is that what I'm seeing? 2987 is what I'm getting off of Navigraph, so that'll be fine. Again, I think I can dial that in early here. Yes, I can. 2987 is what I'll put in, because we're going to be hitting that transition altitude very shortly. But you can see over there, about 20 miles out is where we're at for BZM, and then that's where we're going to turn and all of that. But at this point, because we have nothing else left, like in theory we could start buttoning things up, but then people might be upset that it happened too early. Alright, we're going to transition there, so we should be all set. Let me see, can I... Alright. So let me go up here, whoops, and I'm going to turn the seatbelt on. And then we're gonna...
Cabin crew, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
So in theory, I turned the seatbelt on. It didn't catch that, but... Now let's see if I have the PA. So there we go.
Cabin crew, seats for landing, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land. Please make sure your seat is on its upright position and your seatbelt is fastened.
So
our
yeah,
crew will be
unfortunately.
the cabin for our arrival. Thank you for your attention.
All right. Well, it's saying we didn't allow the crew enough time to secure the cabin, which seems odd. Alright, I'm going to hang up there. Now, is it giving me... We'll see if it gives me credit for the seatbelts being on. It should, but who knows. Alright, we're going to turn the landing lights on. But yeah, we didn't ask before we left to turn the APU on. That's something that self-loading cargo does check for. So yeah, I'll be surprised. I don't think we're going to have anything higher than a B, but we might not even be that high. So it'll be interesting to see how all of that works.
All aircraft be advised information November now current. Altimeter 2988.
All right.
Walker 4021, turn right, heading 110.
Turn right, heading 110, Walker 4021. So obviously I'm already kind of doing that. So we'll see how everything comes in here. But we should be, what, above 3,400. Let me look here at the legs. Okay, at Limo, which is a while away. So again, it needs to slow down, but we're going to take ourselves down here to 3,400, as it says. Well, I should be able to go lower than that, and then it should limit me, but it may not. So it's trying to get below 250 before it hits 10,000 feet. So again, as long as we're really below 260, that's kind of where we want to be. But now, you know, it's telling us we're about 30 nautical miles away. And it's going to be a bit before we can do anything. Alright, I'm surprised it's on the glide path already. But it is, so it should now slow down, so that'll work. And again, some steep descents like that and so forth get to be a bit of a problem. Alright, and I'm able to, at this point, because we have approach on, I can slow down and so forth. But for now, we'll keep it at 240. That's good. It did say drag required before, so I'm going to put on some of the speed brakes here to do that. That will help us get down where we need to get. Alright, and then we will get our auto brakes. I'm actually going to put them on... Do I have a max? Yes. This is short runway, so I am going to kind of crank things a bit. I may regret it with my self-loading cargo, but I need to land appropriately. It's only about a 7,500 foot runway, so it's going to be challenging for sure to go ahead and do what we need to do. Get my controller operating. That's always a nice important thing. Okay, so I'm going to get myself down to 220 here. Now that we're on a kind of a realistic glide slope, we should be okay. Well, maybe. I don't know why it's not slowing down more. So let's, again, get things moving. So let's see, do I have anything? No, I don't have anything on the PA system. Nothing on the intercom because I've already told them to approach. They just probably can't do anything else. Alright. So we'll go back here again. My goodness, come on. Alright. Well, I don't care about the course. Turning the wrong things again. But I want to get myself down to the point where I can put flaps out without potentially an issue. Because, yeah, now we're down to 16 miles. So I'm going to start deploying some flaps. And that should start to slow us down a little bit. So we've just got like 2 degrees of flaps out. But we're trying to get down to 190 once I get below up. I mean, really, in theory, I should be there.
4021, turn left, heading 055.
That's wrong, but okay. Turn left, heading 055, Walker 4021. Is not what I want to do. That's the wrong way. I need to go to the right once I hit Limo, so I don't understand where it wants me to go. Alright, so we're going to put the landing gear down. Slow myself down again to, let's say, 170. Tricky.
Walker 4021, 3 miles from Limo, fly present heading, maintain 2,400 until established on the final approach course. Cleared ILS runway 20.
Maintain 2,400, Walker 4021. Okay, so now we're turning and being established on Limo. We've locked in to the localizer, so that's what we do want. We're at 10%. So again, we should be good. There's the runway. We're on the glide path, so it looks like we're high, but this is in theory where we should be.
Walker 4021, contact Concord Tower 134.65.
Contact Tower 134.65, Walker 4021. Alright, so I think I'm good for what I need. Now I just need to land as far as self-loading cargo. Concord Tower, Walker 4021, on approach to runway 20.
Walker 4021, Concord Tower, continue.
Continue, Walker 4021. Alright, so I'm trying to remember what our approach was. Was it 148? Oh, 133. Okay. So I can slow down quite a bit. Whoops. So we'll set ourselves to 133. We need lower flaps for that, so that's why it's blinking. Because we really need to be at 30 degrees, so I'm going to do that. And then that should safely allow us to have enough lift to be able to function. So obviously it's doing the auto throttle, all of that. We're at 1,600 feet. I'm assuming at this point we're not going to get much.
21, wind calm, runway 20 cleared to land.
Runway 20 cleared to land. Walker 4021. All right. So on my last approach, what I didn't do was declare a go-around when I was using BeyondATC. I was coming in too hot in one location I was doing that on the channel, and I did not let BeyondATC know that, so that caused obviously a bit of a problem. Alright, so should be good. But 860. So yes, I think we've got everything. Let's turn the landing monitor on. Again, as long as we're less than 800, that'll be good. We'll keep a monitor on what it says here. Like once we're below 300 or 200 feet, it gets a little bit interesting, but so, but cloudy, but not horrendous here. Alright, but as you can see, we're pretty low here, but this is also why I wanted an ILS approach, because I'm like, it's just too much. Alright, so this is what it always does, which is a bit of a problem. Come on, I can't be doing that. Alright. So we should have the maximum brakes. Let's get the reversers. Alright.
Walker 4021, exit next available taxiway.
Exit next available taxiway, Walker 4021.
Remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the aircraft is parked.
Alright, so it was kind of a sloppy landing. I'm hoping I didn't have a problem. 668, so alright, I made it, but I obviously had to kind of slam the plane down a little bit.
And all the team, we thank you so much for choosing flying with Walker Air Transport. We hope to see you again soon and wish you a pleasant stay. Thank you.
Wow, we lost a lot of stuff because they couldn't secure the cabin. Couldn't secure the toilets or the Wi-Fi. So I'm not sure why that didn't work there, but...
Walker 4021, contact ground 121.85. Have a good day.
Contact ground 121.85. Good day. We do have to get to the gate because otherwise we don't have enough. Concord Ground, Walker 4021, request taxi to gate.
Walker 4021, welcome to Concord Regional Airport. No suitable gate for your aircraft exists at this airport according to your scenery data. Taxi at pilot's discretion.
Pilot's discretion, Walker 4021. Alright, well that makes things easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated until the captain turns off the seatbelt sign. Once that happens, we will start deboarding, and you'll be able to leave the aircraft. Thank you. Cabin crew, doors to manual and cross-check.
Alright, so the crew's doing their thing, as you can see, so and so yeah, you don't need GSX, you can do everything through self-loading cargo. You know, some of the stuff GSX provides is nice, but that's been something I've been struggling with regularly, because it is a bit difficult. The cabin crew were seated for landing. I don't understand. Like, it definitely got everything, so it said we performed a safe landing, kind of. Landing time. And then, yeah, it's telling me the seatbelt sign is not on, so it's not picking that up in this plane. So, we're going to head over to the GA location, but yeah, they're right. There just isn't anything for a plane like this here. So, I probably should have known with the size of the runway, but I was like, well, otherwise we don't need an air crew. And I'm sure the 130 people that came with us are happy. So, because they get to come and see the race. But yeah, we'll probably need to use the Cessna out of here and figure out what else we're doing. But alright, we'll see if that works. Alright, we're going to turn that off because I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to get a strike because it's literal music. But otherwise, like, it's the one thing it could have done. It's doing a Frank Sinatra song. Like, it could have done something else here. Although my guess is it's still going to be a problem, but so, yeah, what I can't do is turn off the music. Yeah, I'm just semi-curious now, because it should let me. But yeah, it just lets me choose, but none of the choices are turn it off. I can just play with the volume, so we'll go with that. Alright, so you can see what we've got here. It's awaiting our engines to be turned off, so we're going to do that. And then we're going to get ground communication. So
go ahead.
We'll go and get this communication done.
Hi, Captain. Microphone check, please.
Loud and clear.
Roger. Hi, Captain. Would you mind turning off the taxi lights? They're a little bright for us down here.
I thought I had that off. Oh. I don't know how I did that.
Roger.
I'm going to get yelled at about that.
Captain. Next time I'll need to remember my sunglasses. Okay, Captain. Ground power is available. Stand by. We'll start getting you offloaded in a couple of minutes.
Roger.
Okay. So now, cabin crew are managing the doors. So let's see if I do the intercom. No. Let's see.
Cabin crew, the aircraft is secure. Please open the doors when ready. You're clear to begin deboarding.
Alright, so we're doing that. And then I should.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you don't forget any items on this
Ladies
plane.
and gentlemen,
If you need
I hope
any
you enjoyed
help,
your flight
our
today, and
staff
I'd
will
like
be
to wish you a
punctual.
safe onward
Oh,
journey.
we're talking
We'll
of.
see you again
We wish
soon.
you a
Thank you for
pleasant
flying with us.
onward journey.
Alright. So, and I like the onward journey. We hope you have a good onward journey if you're continuing on. I think that was kind of funny. Alright, so then we have to unload the passengers. Oh, and then there's a weight cleaning crew and unload all luggage. Interesting. I didn't realize that they had that
Cockpit to
too.
ground.
Let's see.
Go ahead.
Hi, can you give us an update on the unloading, please?
There's probably about 10 minutes remaining.
Roger.
Alright, so sounds like I still have 10 minutes, but you can see aircraft unloading. People are almost off. I mean, again, unlike the other pieces, like, there's nothing visually happening here. But we went from satisfactory flight to good flight for the overall experience, so that is a victory. So I do enjoy that. But, yeah, we'll see what the overall score will be. Not sure if I'm missing pieces. It looks like I am, but let's see. That's the seat belt. I don't want that. Oh, I have it here. D+. There you go. It's on the. It's been on the screen.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. All passengers have left the aircraft.
Thank you.
Call me if you need anything.
Okay. So we're going to view the flight report. We've done pretty poorly, but all right. Let's see.
Go ahead.
Just a reminder, if you're using software to track your virtual airline flight, you might want to finalize your flight now if you haven't already done so.
Roger.
So now you can hear the cleaning crew in the back. So they're doing their thing. So this isn't really part of our flight report. So if I go to my flights, here we go. So you can see a D+. We had a good flight. Climb was fast, so I had a problem there. So, and then I didn't keep the airspeed below 250 at 10,000 too well. G-forces, not so great. Vertical speed, not so great. Forgot to do the APU startup announcement, but pushback looked good. Didn't do a taxi hold announcement because we were sitting there for a bit on the runway, and it did have a prompt for me there. Takeoff, looks like everything was good. The climb, we didn't accurately predict turbulence. You can see the experience severe. We said it would be normal, so my bad there. These are the things then I have a challenge with. But now that I have this checklist, I'm wondering if maybe I can be a little bit better. Because I didn't communicate it over the intercom. So, that, you know, and then accurate descent, again, to the cabin crew. I did okay on top of descent. You're within 6 minutes of your estimate, but I didn't make an estimate for them, in theory. And then the cabin crew, even though I told them to be seated, like I lost a ton of points on this because they couldn't secure things, like they didn't do emergency lighting and all of that. And then we lost 100 points for them not being seated. We lost points because we wanted to be around 150 and 1.02 Gs, so not great. And then these last points were pretty good. But that is kind of what self-loading cargo gives us. So it's fun. Alright, the cleaning crew looks like they're good. And then it's just unloading the baggage. And then we have everything that we need. Alright. But, let's see. But yeah, a bit large for the airport here. You can see all the other planes. we're a little out of place. They're probably like, what was this thing coming in here? So I probably made a bad call, but hopefully... Oh, this might be it here.
Go ahead.
Hi, Captain. Okay, all bags have been offloaded.
Yep.
We're closing up now. We'll see you next time.
Roger.
Alright. So they are all set. We are all set. Hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if it's something you want me to include a little more regularly. Once again, even with this one, I eventually got to the point where I'm like, yeah, this is too much. Like, I've got stuff I need to do in like 10 minutes from now, and I knew I wouldn't be able to finish the flight and appropriately do go eat lunch and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have to step away. And that's part of the challenge with any of these flight sim videos is you're flying anywhere, it's lengthy, there's a lot going on, but there's also a lot of time when we're not doing much. I mean, this did take 2 hours and 37 minutes with everything instead of 2 hours, so it was a longer flight. But I do hope you enjoyed it, and I will, if you haven't liked it, please do that. That is helpful for the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. If you are not a subscriber yet, please consider that. And I will see you next time.